Hey everybody, my name is Paul Leston Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25, baby. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe down below, and we're going to talk about the latest. The New York Jets leaving the door open for the return of a potential former $54 million defender, although this young man won't be making $54 million with the Jets, that is. And of course, we're talking about Kwon Alexander. There's a full article down below with all the details. Hopefully, you guys can check that out. Shout out to Heavy on Jets, an article I wrote already about this very subject. You know, the 2023 NFL draft is in our rearview mirror, and really, the Jets didn't make any significant investments at the linebacker position. Of course, they added a new linebacker, Zaire Barnes, on day 3, but, you know, special teams contributor. He's going to have a chance, of course, to fight for that starting job, but there's a missing piece. There's CJ Mosley. He's back. There's Quincy Williams, 3-year deal, $18 million. He's back. But that third linebacker spot is up for grabs. And really, when you look at the depth chart from the New York Jets on the defensive side of the ball, really everything's pretty set. I mean, shout out to Robert Saleh, who at the beginning of the offseason said they really wanted to retain most of the defense or a top 5 unit last season, for Pete's sake. We start off on the back end. We have safety. Jordan Whitehead's back. I know fans are kind of split on him. Chuck Clark comes in. He's a starter. And then they kind of have a mosh posh of guys: Tony Adams, Ashton Davis, Jerick Bernard, Converse, Will Parks. They kind of have a collection there. But whatever, they're fine. Again, Jet fans want them to improve at safety, but I think you should just probably rest on your laurels that that's not going to happen. Let's go to corner. Top 3 are the best in football. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter II. Could you argue for a splash at backup? Again, you have Brandon Eccles, who has some experience. Bryce Hall, we'll see with this contract whether he stays. You have JBC, I just mentioned, and Justin Hardy, who's more so a special teamer. So you could use a little bit of splash of experience as a reserve guy, perhaps, if you want to squint. But then we go to linebacker. You have CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams, and then Jamie and Sherwood, Zaire Barnes, Hamza Nasser-Lardine, Chaz Surratt. Like, ooh, not great. So again, that third linebacker spot. You go to the defensive tackle position. You got Quinnen and Quentin Jefferson, so you got some juice from a pass rush perspective. But again, still missing a little sizzle there. Is it Al Woods? Is it someone like that? So they could use a little bit from that perspective. But then the defensive end room is loaded. You have JFM, Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Bryce Huff, Michael Clemens, Bradley, and I. You got a bunch of dudes in that room. But really, linebackers, the one sore spot where you'd say, you know what, if we can bring a guy back, that would make a lot of sense. And Kwon Alexander is that guy. General Manager Joe Douglas was asked post-draft if that is something they're open to in terms of bringing Kwon back. And he said, quote, "We're going to keep the door open to the possibilities of adding good players at any position, linebacker included." Now, you can read that one of two ways. One, you know, it's kind of non-committal. It's kind of a non-answer. On the other side, you could just kind of say, well, he didn't totally shut it down, so that should be good news. The fact of the matter is this. We mentioned Kwon Alexander at one point being a $54 million linebacker. For 5 seconds, he was the highest paid linebacker in football, of course, until the Jets paid CJ Mosley a ridiculous bag of money. So Kwon Alexander has gotten paid in the past, but not paid anymore. Of course, he played for relative peanuts for the Jets. He joined them on August 2nd of last year. Can you remember it was that late? That was the official date anyway. There was rumors and reports of late July, but the official date that they signed it was August 2nd, and he played on a $1.27 million deal. Absolute chump change, and he delivered. He played in all 17 games. It's the first time he started a full or played in a full season since 2016. He made 12 starts during that time, and the numbers are fine. 69 total tackles, half a sack, 6 TFLs, forced fumbles. In his Pro Football Focus analytics, he improved in every single major category from 2021 to 2022. The only one he didn't was coverage grade. So outside of that, though, overall run defense, pass rush, he checked off all the boxes from that perspective. Now, here's the thing. Kwon wanted the bag. He didn't get it. Again, he's still available here as we enter the month of May. If he would have gotten, if the bag was set to come, it would have come or came early in free agency. And sadly, he didn't get that. I think a lot of people look at it and say, okay, you're healthy for the first time since 2016. I'm not going to overreact and overspend on the market, especially for an off-ball linebacker. So Kwon obviously didn't get the bag that he was looking for. A couple of options here. He can sign back. I think he'll get a slight pay raise because, again, he's coming off a career year, but it's not going to be crazy higher than the money he got last year with the Jets. He loves the culture. He loves Robert Saleh. Sign for another year, maybe establish your market value a second time, potentially heading into 2024. He's still an incredibly young guy, 28 years of age. So he's a super young cat. But that would make me feel a lot better about the second level of the Jets defense. They can bring this cat back because he's an emotional leader. He really revs up the engine. Robert Saleh talked about that last year. Great shape, of course. So he's kind of the perfect guy to bring in. And with Aaron Rodgers, it makes it a little bit easier to do ring chasing. Now, again, Kwon was on the team last year, but to a greater sense of Aaron Rodgers, people will take less to play with him because they think they can make a run. So hopefully this can happen here. Jet fans love Kwon Alexander. He kind of flirted with a fan who said when Kwon comes back or Kwon's coming back, and he quote tweeted it, "It is not official. Kwon is not back yet, but hopefully, like I said, that does come soon." That would be a position I'd feel a lot better about. The Jets are really good at a lot of different positions, but specifically in the second level of that defense, I don't feel great about the other random day three options. Jamie Sherwood, meh. Hamza Nasruddin, meh. Chaz Surratt, who's a reject from a different place. Zaire Barnes, again, same kind of thing, where he's this developmental day three guy. When you start looking through some of those personally, none of them rev my engine. None of them make me feel great about that. And then think of like if an injury happens, the Jets could be, up shit's creek a little bit here. So Kwon Alexander, the door's open. Hopefully the Jets re-sign him. If they do, it'll be for dirt cheap at this point in the offseason. It'd be a great move for the Jets to bring back a guy who's already familiar with the system. Again, Robert Saleh said, let's run it back on defense. And Kwon is really the last missing piece of the puzzle. I mean, you've lost a couple of guys, interior defensive tackles, Nathan Shepard, Sheldon Rankins, LaMarcus Joyner, a couple of those guys are hanging out. But a big piece of the puzzle would be bringing back Kwon. So, Jet fans, let's try to will it into existence. Let's try to bring this guy back because I freaking love Kwon Alexander. He brings the right juice to the table, the right chutzpah, baby. And I would love to see Kwon back. So, this is our public shout out to Kwon Alexander. Like I said, check the full article down below on this situation with all kinds of juicy details, contract, and all that other stuff. Appreciate you guys. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. Also, a shameless plug, guys. This offseason, we're doing a series called Meet the Fleet. We've actually been doing it the last couple of years. After the draft, I reach out to experts from wherever these Jets draft picks have come, like Will McDonald. We already had an Iowa State insider join us for that one and give us cool behind the scenes on the player. Learn about these guys that were just drafted to the team. So again, it's on my YouTube, okay, and then the playlist Meet the Fleet 2023, and we're going to be dropping interviews in there sporadically, quite frankly, as quickly as I can crank them, and I have a bunch of them set for every member of the Jets draft class. And again, we're going to learn about them, cool stories, insight, and hopefully allow you guys to fall in love with these players. So I've been doing it the last couple of years. Please show your support in the Meet the Fleet section. Again, our first episode's already out with Will McDonald, and we're going to have several more down the line. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next time right here on the channel. Peace out.